Hello students, today we will discuss optical activity. There are so many terms which you have to know what is the before studying the optical activity. There are some point like one is the plane polarized light. What is the plane polarized light? What is the plane polarized light? What is a plane polarized light? As we know that ordinary light consists of electromagnetic waves of different wavelengths. Okay, and this is the ordinary light which moves in all directions having different wavelengths. Okay students, and when it is passed through a Nicol prism, you will get a monochromatic light. Okay, you will get monochromatic light. Monochromatic light on the other hand consists of waves of only one wavelength. It can be obtained either by passing the ordinary white light through a prism or grating, or by using a source which gives light of only one wavelength. So this is the plane polarized light. And this what is a Nicol prism? Nicol prism is made up of calcite. Always remember, Nicol prism is made up of calcite. This is the plane polarized light. Such a beam of light which has vibration only one plane is called the plane polarized light. Okay students, so this is the ordinary light which moves in all directions having different wavelengths. When it is passed through a Nicol prism which is made up of calcite, then you will get one plane polarized light in only one plane, which vibrates only in one plane. This is called the plane polarized light. The Nicol prism used to obtain plane polarized light is called a polarizer. Okay, this is also known as a polarizer. Second point is angle of rotation. What is the angle of rotation? What is the angle of rotation? The angle in which the plane of polarized light gets rotated on passing through the solution of an optically active compound is called the angle of rotation. It is denoted by Greek letter alpha. It is noted by alpha. I am telling you what is the angle of rotation. There are two rotations which is like this. This is the dextrorotatory. This is the angle of rotation. Okay students, this is the angle of rotation. This is the, suppose this is the plus D. This is the dextrorotatory. If it moves in anti-clockwise direction like this, this is anti-clockwise direction, it is called levorotatory. Okay students, this is levorotatory. It is written as a L. Okay, negative L. This is the angle of rotation. Then next one is the, what is the polarimeter? What is the polarimeter? What is a polarimeter? The instrument used for the measuring the angle of rotation of the plane polarized light is called the polarimeter. Okay students, the instrument which is used for the rotation of plane polarized light is called polarimeter. It consists of a light source, two Nicol prism, polarimeter tube. The Nicol prism near the light source is called the polarizer, while the near the eye or the observer is called the analyzer. So this is the polarimeter. What is a polarimeter? The instrument, I am writing the instrument used for measuring the angle of rotation of the plane polarized light. is called a polarimeter. Okay, so there are two Nicol prism are used. Okay, there is two Nicol prism are used. One is known as a polarizer, other one is known as a analyzer. The angle of rotation of an optically active compound depends on the following factors. This angle of rotation is depends. This angle of rotation of an optically active compound depends on the following factors. Nature of optically active substances. Nature of optically active substances. Concentration of solution. Concentration of solution. Nature of solvent. Wavelength of monochromatic light. Wavelength of monochromatic light. And we can say length of the solution we are also taking. Length of solution. Length, length of solution. And next one is fourth point. This is the specific rotation. What is the specific rotation? In order to compare the rotatory power of different optically active substances, the optical activity usually expressed in terms of specific rotation. What is the specific rotation? Specific rotation of an optically active substances is defined as degree of rotation observed when the plane polarized light, I am writing in short, plane polarized light is passed through a tube having a path length of 1 decimeter, we can say that 10 centimeter, and a concentration of 1 gram per ml of the compound at a specific temperature. Okay students, at a specific temperature. I have already told you this depends on the length of the solution, nature of optically active substances, nature of solvent, wavelength of monochromatic light, temperature is also included here. Okay, so this is the specific temperature and wavelength. It is written as alpha D. This is the temperature. T is the temperature. D is the wavelength of light used. This is the wavelength of light used. Usually D line of sodium having a wavelength of 589.9 nanometer is used to source of the monochromatic light. Okay, this is the specific rotation. We can write the one formulas also. T is the temperature, always remember. Observed angle of rotation upon path length into concentration. Okay, this is the specific rotation. While the reporting sees the concentration, always remember sees the concentration, L is the length of the polarimeter tube. So this is the specific rotation, and this is the specific rotation. And next one is, what is the optical activity? What is the optical activity? Okay students, optical, I am taking here optical activity. Okay, this is the optical activity. What is the optical activity? This optical activity was discovered by a scientist, a chemist, Louis Pasteur. What is the optical activity? He observed that when a concentrated solution of sodium and ammonium tartrate was allowed to crystalline, two types of crystal separates out. This is the experiment which is held by the Louis Pasteur. One in which the one solution rotates the plane polarized light towards the clockwise direction, and other one rotates the plane polarized light towards the anti-clockwise direction. So what is the optical activity? A substance which rotates the plane of the polarized light towards the right of the direction is called the dextrorotatory, and other one is rotate plane polarized light towards the anti-clockwise direction is called a levorotatory. Okay, then we are taking one example. This is a light source which is ordinary light, which moves in all direction, as I have already told you, having different wavelengths, having this is electromagnetic radiations. This is ordinary light. Okay, and it is passed through a Nicol prism which is made up of calcite, and this is also known as polarizer. Then we will get, this is PPL, this is plane polarized light. Next, here is solution of an optically active substances. Solution of an optically active substances. Then you will get this is the specific rotation, angle of rotation. Then we will get either in clockwise direction, this is called the dextrorotatory, and next it is passed through a Nicol prism, which is second Nicol prism is used and known as analyzer. Then you will get this is the specific rotation. Okay, so we can say that, and here is your eye. Okay, this is your eye. So we can say that when an ordinary light is passed through a Nicol prism which is made up of calcite, we will get a plane polarized light. If a solution of an optically active substances, if the solution rotates plane polarized light towards clockwise direction is called dextrorotatory. If this organic compound rotates plane polarized light towards anti-clockwise direction is called levorotatory. Okay, so this is the one experiment. What is the experiment? This is in which we will get the dextrorotatory and levorotatory. This is the plane polarized light, and if this rotates like this is dextrorotatory, and if it rotates like this, then this is levorotatory. Okay, when it will happen, this will happen when a compound is having three conditions which should be present in a compound. There are three necessary conditions for a compound to be optically active. So this is the experiment, this is the optical activity in which the compound rotates plane polarized light towards clockwise direction is called the dextrorotatory. If the compound rotates plane polarized light towards anti-clockwise direction is called the levorotatory. There are two prisms used, one is in which one is polarizer, other one is analyzer. For the next necessary condition for a compound to be optically active. Necessary condition for a compound to be optically active. I mean to say, what are the necessary conditions for this solution? Sorry. What are the necessary conditions? The first condition is chirality. The first condition is chirality. A molecule is said to be chiral or disymmetric if it is not superimposable on its mirror image, and the property of non-superimposability is chirality. Okay, we can say that what is the chirality? A carbon which is having 4 different groups. A molecule is said to be chiral or disymmetric if it is not superimposable on its mirror image, and the property of non-superimposability is called chirality. If we will draw the mirror image of this compound, then we will get okay, this is the if this compound is superimposable to this one, so this is not chirality. If this compound is not superimposable to each other, then this process is known as chirality. So what is the, we can taking one example you have already read in your 12th class. This is P. What is this? This is not superimposable. It means it is showing the chirality. Okay, it is not superimposable. Not superimposable. This is the chirality. Okay, this is showing the chirality. But if this one like this, it is superimposable. It can be overlapped to each other. That's why it is superimposable. And it is not followed the rule of chirality. Okay, it is followed, but it is not followed the chirality. Okay, this is the we can say that your human hand is chiral. Like similarly, gloves, shoes are chiral objects. Your shoes, your gloves are chiral objects. Have you ever thought why cannot you wear the left-handed glove in your right hand? This is because they are non-superimposable mirror image of each other. And your button, your sphere, a cube, most socks on the other hand are achiral. Okay, the example of chirality or example of chiral, what I am telling you, there are gloves, shoes. These are the chirals. These are the, you can say it is a chiral. A human hand is also a chiral. It does not have a plane of symmetry with while it does not have a plane of symmetry. If you cut your hand, it is always disymmetry. Okay, it is always chiral. Okay, it is not symmetric. It is not cut into your equal halves. Okay, that's why this human hand is chiral. Okay, yeah, there is no plane of symmetry, there is no center of symmetry, there is no alternating axis of symmetry. Okay, so this is the first condition. It should have chirality. If there is chirality, then what will be happen? It should have mirror image of each other. If there is mirror image of each other, then they are also having non-superimposability to each other. Okay, so this is the first condition, chirality. Second, mirror image of each other. And third one is non-superimposable. Non-superimposable to each other. These are the necessary conditions. Next, what are the conditions which make the compound optically inactive? These conditions make the compound optically active. Always remember, these conditions always make the compound optically active. But some conditions like, and there are three also conditions like plane of symmetry, center of symmetry and alternating axis of symmetry. These symmetry showing the achirality. We can say these first one is plane of symmetry. If a compound have plane of symmetry, and these are also known as elements of symmetry. These are also known as elements of symmetry. And the first condition is if the compound having plane of symmetry, center of symmetry or alternating axis of symmetry, the compound will become optically inactive. Compound will become optically inactive. What is a plane of symmetry? Like we are taking a simple example like a circle and there is plane of symmetry. Two equal halves. That's why this is optically, this compound will be like this compound is optically inactive. We can say the plane of symmetry is defined as an imaginary plane which divides the molecule into two equal halves. Okay, in which such one half of the is a mirror image of the other half. We can say that one half of the molecule is a mirror image of the other half. That's why this plane of, if a compound having plane of symmetry, it become optically inactive. This is the plane of symmetry. We are taking one example. this is tartaric acid, and this is also known as a mesotartaric acid. What are the mesotartaric acid? Mesotartaric acids optically inactive. Why? Because one half of the molecule is rotated with other half of the molecule, that is of internal compensation, or we can say that this is the plane of symmetry. This is the plane of symmetry in which one half of the molecule is rotated to the other half of the molecule. We can say that this is like, first of all, this is like this, and it becomes 90 degree, and it becomes 180 degree. It is overlapping to this one is this one, it overlaps, and this OH is overlapping to this one. That's why this is having plane of symmetry. That's why this compound is optically inactive. Okay, next one is center of symmetry. Center of symmetry. What is the center of symmetry? I am taking one example which is very easy. What is the center of symmetry? Here is one center. I am taking, just wait, I am drawing COOH, H, H, CH3, H, COOH, CH3, H, and this one. A center of symmetry is defined as a point which lines when draw on one side and produce an equal distance on the other side. Here is one, the distance become very equal. See, this is a distance. This is the equal distance. Okay, see here, this is the equal distance. This is the equal distance. Okay, so what is the center of symmetry? A center of symmetry is defined as a point from which lines, when drawn, we draw on one side and produced on equal distance on the other side, will meet identical points. Okay, this is the identical point. This is an example of 2,4-dimethyl cyclobutane 1,3-dicarboxylic has 1-dicarboxylic acid. This is an example of center of symmetry. Okay, students, you got it, my point. This is a point. The distance between this COH group and CH group is equal, and the distance between this H and this H is equal, and the distance between the CH3, this one and this one, is equal. So there are, all the groups are in equal position. That's why this is a center of symmetry. If a compound having center of symmetry, it will become optically inactive. Third one, last one, which is elements of symmetry, or we can say that elements or alternating axis of symmetry. Okay, we can write alternating axis of symmetry. What is the alternating axis of symmetry? A molecule is said to be possess an n-fold alternating axis of symmetry if rotation through an angle of 360 degree to oblique n about this axis, and then followed by reflection in a plane perpendicular to the axis, gives a molecule which is indistinguishable from the original molecule. I am taking one example. Okay. If this molecule is rotated 0 degree to 360 degree, then we will get the same molecule. Then we will get the same. That's why there are four-fold axis of symmetry, or we can say that rotation of molecule through 90 degree about axis like this. This axis we can here. This is the axis. This is the axis. Suppose this is rotated, suppose like this is pen, and this is rotated 90, 180, 270, 360 degree, then it will get its own its original position. Okay, then it will get its original position, that this is the alternating axis of symmetry. And how many folds you have done it? They are four-fold. It means 360 degree and you have four-fold you have done it, then 90 degree you will get. Okay, so rotation of molecule through 90 degree about axis which passes through center of the ring and perpendicular to its plane gives molecule B. The reflection of B gives the original molecule A. The molecule has four-fold alternating axis of symmetry. So we can say that a one-fold alternating axis correspond to a plane of symmetry. Two-fold alternating axis correspond to the center of symmetry. Therefore, absence of alternating axis of symmetry is a necessary and sufficient condition for a compound to exhibit optical activity. Then I mean to say, what is the alternating axis of symmetry? I am again trying to told you. This is the compound. Suppose this is the compound and this is the Z minus, this is the Z plus. When this is a point here, when you fold, one fold, 90, two fold, 180, three fold, 270 and four fold, it will get its original position. If there is this type of alternating axis of symmetry, then compound become optically inactive. The compound may be optically inactive. This is the alternating axis of symmetry. If a compound having plane of symmetry, center of symmetry and alternating axis of symmetry, then you will always remember the compound became optically inactive. The compound become optically inactive. Okay students, this is the optical activity. There are so many important points for discussing the next topic, which is the optical isomerism, which is very important for your exams. First of all, before discussing the optical isomerism, I have told you there are so many important points like plane polarized light, angle of rotation, polarimeter, specific rotation. Next one is the experiment optical activity. What are the necessary conditions? Chirality, mirror image, non-superimposability, and other one is the elements of symmetry like plane of symmetry, center of symmetry and alternating axis of symmetry. And in the next session we will discuss optical isomerism. Okay, these points are also included in that topic, which is very important. Okay students, you got it my point? Okay students, thank you.